this is Jessica with Dining Traveler, and welcome to the Dining Traveler cooking series where we try recipes from our favorite destinations at home. Well, I'm not at home. I am at a restaurant, and today I'm super lucky to have chef and friend Andres Zuluaga from Blend 111 in Vienna, Virginia, teaching me how to make a dish. And I know that we go for favorite destinations, but we're kind of merging two of my favorite destinations, Puerto Rico and Italy. So tell me a little bit more about what we're making.
So what we're going to do is we're going to make kind of more traditional style Puerto Rican mojo. Essentially it's garlic shrimp with sour oranges and finish off with a little bit of cilantro. So we have a little bit of olive oil in our pan, Spanish olive oil in particular, and then we're going to add our garlic. I like to add my garlic at the start and bring it up very slowly, not cooking it too hard. You don't want to add the garlic to a very hot oil. You kind of let the whole garlic pieces really cook slowly and let those aromatic flavors come out.
I think that there is also an importance to using like good quality olive oil.
Yes.
Can we talk about that a little bit?
So we use at the restaurant, we use Zoe olive oil. It's directly from Spain. The extra virgin olive oil you want to particularly look for, it has almost like a lime green color to it. That's when you know it's a very high quality olive oil.
Everybody has a unique way of making mojo, but for those who are not Puerto Rican or not familiar with it, what is mojo?
Mojo is essentially, it's oil. I prefer olive oil, and then I saute garlic, and then once the garlic has kind of started to get aromatic, I like to add dry oregano to it. This is a particular Greek wild oregano I like to use. It's a little more aromatic, and it comes still on the branch. And then once the dry oregano has also kind of cooked within the garlic and the flavors have melded, that's when I'll add my shrimp. And then once the shrimp are about 75% of the way cooked, I'll finish off with my with the sour orange juice. So this is kind of like our mojo recipe that we use at the restaurant. It's very simple.
Is it something that you came up with, or?
Yeah, this is something I come up with. It's also something that I grew up eating. This style of mojo. It's to sound cliche for me. One of my first memories of really good mojo was like going to Pollo Tropical when you're younger, and you have and you get the fried yuca, and you get to dip it in the mojo, and it's just like this really good limey, garlicky, olive oily condiment, and that's something that always stuck with me.
It's crazy how those certain scents and flavors growing up that they really te marcan, they mark you for the rest of your life.
So now that our oregano and our garlic is kind of really melded in this very aromatic, and your garlic still continuing to cook, you don't want any color, any caramelization. I think we can add our shrimp now.
Okay.
We just salt them just a little bit. Draw a little moisture out of the shrimp. Again, shrimp cook very easily and very quickly as well, so it's kind of one of those things where you want to stay above it.
Okay, so you're adding the pasta right into the...
right into the shrimp, because once your pasta's cooked, you don't want to cook your shrimp all the way and then cook your pasta. So I think it makes sense to kind of add the pasta as it's still kind of cooking. Once you add your linguine, you want to hear that sizzle, and then that way you know you're ready for your sour orange.
With the pasta, did you cook it al dente? Did you do a little bit of less al dente?
I did a little less al dente.
Okay, so you cook it 6-8 minutes?
Yeah, 6 or 8 minutes, definitely. You can start really mixing everything together. And when I cook pasta, I like to cook in a big, large, wide pan. What you want is enough pasta to be able to move around. You don't want to overcrowd your pan, really. It's all cooked, and in our final touch, we can add the cilantro.
Cilantro is one of those herbs that, to me, too, it's quite divisive here in the U.S., but I smell it and I think of my mom because she uses it in everything.
Cilantro is definitely one of the staples.
So if you're not a cilantro lover, what can you use instead?
You can definitely use parsley instead. The mojo recipe that we use, it's very similar to almost like a shrimp scampi that Italians would use. So parsley would definitely be a great substitute.
So chef, we're done, and this smells delicious, but it also inspires me to grab a glass of wine. So what kind of wine do you recommend for this?
Personally, I would love to have a glass of an oaky Chardonnay with this. I think it would go really well with the shrimp and the acidity from the sour oranges.
Blend 111, it's in Vienna, Virginia. It's around 40 minutes away from Washington, D.C., but there's a great food scene here in Northern Virginia, very international. Yeah. What are some of your to-go places?
My to-go places, what I've really been liking to go to is I pick up to-go food from Bansari Indian off Gallows Road. They do really good to go, like a butter chicken and samosas, and their naans are really good as well. And then across the street here we have a sandwich shop, which is like they do sandwiches, international style sandwiches to your regular cold cuts, and every sandwich I've had there has been a hit.
Yeah, there's so many good places to eat. I feel like Northern Virginia is like very low
Yes,
key,
it
but
is.
it's literally you can take a trip around the world.
You definitely can.
So thank you so much, Chef, for teaching me how to make this beautiful pasta with shrimp mole sauce, a little merge of Puerto Rico and Italia. And what are some tips that folks can use when making this dish?
I would have to say just remember to not burn your garlic, and don't overcook the shrimp because you don't want it to be rubbery. It's one of my pet peeves. I like just like a perfectly cooked shrimp, never more than like 4 or 5 minutes.
And I love that this recipe, probably start to finish, takes 20 minutes.
Yep.
Super easy, 6 to 8 ingredients, I think.
Yeah.
I can come from the top of my head.
Exactly.
But pretty easy. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, if you guys love it, please like, subscribe, and if you have any questions, comments, feedback, please share those as well. Thank you. Adios.
Bye.